Let's see who's coming to join me today. Come on, Mom. I think we're going to see a rainbow today. All right. Well, I will get started. And thank you for coming to my studio chat. This is my fourth one this week, and it's been really fun. It's been really fun to connect and chat with you guys. Today, I'm going to do a little demo after I have my little studio chat. I'm doing a little demo on at Orchid, and I'm going to do some pen and ink work. My mom said it was okay to say pen and ink, by the way, because it's still considered pen and ink, and it is with a pen. So I'm going to be doing that in a minute. So I just wanted to say hey and give you a little update on the kids. So they are doing their school, and they did it pretty quickly this morning, I have to say. But yesterday after we had our live, live for me right now is 1 o'clock Pacific, and they kind of get up a little bit later. So by the time I'm done with this, I go make them lunch. And then yesterday I was making them lunch, and then they really wanted me to play cards with them. So it's like, okay, well, I got to go to work. I got to go back and get a whole bunch of stuff done. Hey, Karen. And I said, okay, I'll just play for a minute. And then Hudson's my middle son, and he looked at me and he said, hey, Mom, why can't you just play cards with us? Your work can wait. And he's like, we'll never have this time. And I was thinking, he was so right. So we ended up playing cards for like an hour and a half after lunch, and I came back in and did some work. So anyway, it was a really interesting observation on his part, and it made me really think about it. And then this morning I was on somebody's Facebook and I saw a post they shared from Bill Gates. So I reposted it on my Andrea Garvey page. So you can hop on over there if you don't see it here. And maybe I'll post it on this one too. But what I did was I printed it out. Okay, it's not very long. It really is like 14 really cool sort of quotes that he has, and it's so awesome. And so anyway, I'm making my boys sign it when they're done reading it. They get a little reward, but I want them to sign it. But I wanted to share with you just a couple things that he said, that Bill Gates said. I have it just right here. And he was so inspiring. And I'm sort of in this new phase this week of feeling a lot more inspired than I was. Well, last week was really difficult, but this week I've been feeling more creative, rested, and definitely inspired. And he said something that really sparked in me. And a few of the things that I wanted to just share with you is, this is coming from him. And there's my mom. Hi, Mom. Okay, this is from Bill Gates, not from me, but it's how I feel too. It is reminding us how important, he's talking about the coronavirus. It is reminding us how important our family and home life is, and how much we have neglected this. And so that's why when Hudson said to me yesterday, why can't we just why can't we play cards together? And why can't we play it right now? Your work can wait. And he was so spot on. It can totally wait. And two other things I wanted to share with you guys today, and then you could go read it, whatever, is he also said, our true work is to look after each other, to protect each other, and be of benefit to one another. And I believe that is so important right now. That is us taking care of our neighbors. That is us helping each other out. That's us doing FaceTime with our family, making sure that our loved ones are taken care of. That is helping that's really staying home. It's making sure our healthcare workers are, not being bombarded by people who are sick because we're staying home, and it's making a difference. And then the last thing, one of the things he said that I want to bring up today is, it is reminding us that this can either be an end or a new beginning. And oh my God, that really, really, really resonated with me. I think, Bill Gates is such an amazing man, and he does so much for people. And if you get a chance, read it, but it is so true. You can look at this time that we're in now and think of it as an end, and And it is very depressing for people, but somehow there's a little light in there that we just have to look for. And this week, it's just, I've been looking for that light and I feel it, and it is a struggle, but we're getting into a little routine at home and I'm feeling a lot better about it. Hey, Karen, I got my 2 Karens today. So, okay, so I did a little test this morning with my phone. My phone right here is connected to this really it's a really inexpensive tripod I got on Amazon, but it has this ball and I'm going to flip us upside down to do this drawing today. If for some reason I lag out because everybody in the world's on the internet, just stick with me. I should come back on. I think that's what happened the other day. There was just too many people watching Netflix and YouTube, and me, I'm not watching those things and it lags, so it is what it is. That's life right now. But if you were on yesterday, you know that I went through my daily drawings that I did. This is one of my orchids, and I love orchids. They're one of my favorite things to draw. And one of the reasons is because the petals are so cool and interesting. This is one of my favorites from my little series of flowers. I just think that they're a really fun thing. And last week, I've been helping Mark's dad and stepmom getting some groceries. They're older, they need to stay in. And when I was there, she grows these in her garden. Look at this. That's so beautiful. So she said I could cut a stem and this will last for a long time. And so I'm gonna draw this one. So I'm gonna have that right in front of me. So a couple of the things I do when I do these drawings is I either have a photo like on Pinterest or from my phone, or I actually have I have a flower. And in today's case, I have the flower right in front of me. We won't be able to see it when I'm drawing because I'm gonna put the phone right down on the table, but I just want you to know that's what I'm doing as my inspiration. And again, when you create art, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be whatever. So it's just one of the things that I would do when I was doing this challenge was I definitely found a lot of flowers from my garden, but I also found a lot of flowers on Pinterest and out there, and there's so many great things. So, okay, so stay with me. I'm going to flip us upside down and I'm gonna do a little bit of drawing, and then, hey, Michelle, glad you made it. And I see Alex. I feel like, oh my God, what was that? Do you guys remember? Okay, you can't raise your hand because I can't see you, but I have this crazy memory right now that's happening. When I had moved to America, I think we were watching this show where you would look through the circle and you would say, there's Terry. Hey, Terry, or whatever. Do you guys remember that? Somebody let me know. Alex, you're my age. You'll know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, so thank you guys for coming and joining me. And so I'm gonna flip you over. We're gonna do our line drawing, and then I will be back after that and we can chat. Okay, so bear with me if we lose each other, and my technical skills are not the best, so hold on. And I won't be able to see your comments when I'm doing this, but I will after. So if you have any questions, you can let me know. All right, so I'm gonna get you guys down, not too close. There, I think that's good. It's gonna bug me if we're not straight though. All right, this is where, hold on, I'm moving us. Okay, so, excuse me, there we go. This is the artist tiles I use. I needed that once because I can't see anything upside down. But this is the artist tiles I use. Oh my gosh, I need like an assistant to help me here. Okay, so these are Strathmore artist tiles. There's 20 in this little book here, and I love it because it's like Bristol and it's smooth. I think I told somebody it was watercolor, but it's like watercolor, and I actually do all my watercolor drawings on there. So I just want to do one thing and make sure you can see when I get started. So that is, that's over here too much. There we go. All right. So one of the things I do when I get started, okay, so sorry, just jumping around a little bit, is the Faber-Castell, Faber-Castell Pitt pen is what I'm using, and it's an extra small. I can sometimes use small, and the only problem with small is that it sometimes is too thick for me, and I like just a little tiny line when I do my watercolors. So how I get started is I look at my square and I think about the composition, and right now I'm going to be doing this orchid stem that if you guys just jumped on, I'll show you after we're done, but I have an orchid stem in front of me that I'm looking at, and I'm not going to do the whole stem. I'm going to find probably three flowers that I think will look pretty cool, and so I'm just going to get started up here on the top. Oh, another thing too is a lot of these drawings, when I do them for my tea towels, or if I'm doing them for something I need to be, you know, done well, I would use pencil first and then I would erase it. But the thing with the video is that the pencil is not really going to show up, so I didn't want to waste our time doing that. So I'm going to go into this top corner, and I'm just looking at my orchid, and I'm working with sort of the middle part. This is going to be the middle section that has the fun stuff that we're going to be able to do later. Okay, so I'm just sort of going to get a petal going in here. Now this could end up looking like total crap, because seriously, I am just free-handing this from my eyeballs. But the more you do it, the more you can practice and get used to it. When I did my drawings every day, I definitely had this like practice going. Now I haven't been doing these in you know, a long time, so the more you do, the better you are with everything, right? So what I'm doing today is the outline and some of the details, which I'll show you in a minute. But one of the things that I also like to do when I'm done with these is the painting part, and that I'm going to save for tomorrow, because otherwise we'd be here a while. So I'm just gonna, right now I'm just working on some of the little circular, I don't know what these are, they're like the spots on the orchid. It's pretty windy here. We just had another little downpour, sunny and rain, and I'm definitely on the hunt for some rainbows. Okay, so now what I like to do when I do some shading are these little tiny dots. They just bring in a little detail that's kind of fun, and you can paint right over this. I'm just gonna see how we're doing on where we are. Let's see. Oh God, it's kind of crooked, but maybe it's not. You guys okay with that? There, I'm gonna do that right there. I think my phone is on a weird angle, so it's bugging me. Okay, so I'm gonna do the stem. I'm gonna do a orchid here, an orchid flower here, and one here. I like to do things in threes. So this is where it can get tricky. I messed up a lot doing this. So I'm gonna do the middle part of the flower, the second flower. I'm gonna do the middle part here, so I have enough space. So sometimes I'll do these flowers and I'll realize that I completely have no room to do some of it, to do some of the petals, because there's no room, because I didn't give it enough space. So sort of find the middle of your flower visually and then play with that. I don't even know if that made sense. But from practice, I know that I have often been working on my petals and I realized I ran out of room. They're like off the side here. So I'm doing this by looking at my petals, and you know, if you're drawing and you see something too that I'm running into a little problem right here. Oopsie. That flew from the sky. I'm running into a little problem right here, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of fix where I want this petal to go. It's going to go behind, which is fine. Add a little doodad there. So the good thing about doing these videos is I often do talk to myself, and so talking to you guys is something I can do while I'm doing this. Okay, so the orchid stem is kind of interesting. I'm gonna make it go like that. I have no idea how this is gonna work. I don't think they're gonna connect, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. And you wanna do 5 petals. So I got the 5 in there. So I'm gonna go back into the body of this one orchid flower and kind of work on some of the details. So I'm doing little spots again. It's a little cartoony, which is fine. I'm only really doing lines that I want to show up in my painting. So I'm not shading or anything. A couple little fun tips on the shading is when you're working with these pens, you can shade in a variety of ways. And one of them is to do these lines. And so for instance, already that looks darker than that side because they're just lines. You can do the same thing with dots. So the more lines you have, the more shadow you can make it look like without having to sort of, you know, paint or use a pencil or anything like that. So right now I'm just putting in the line work, which is so cool on an orchid. If you really study an orchid, you can see they all have these amazing lines. Okay, and then let's see, I've got a couple little petals here. And this one back here, I'm not gonna get that one too, I'm not gonna put too many lines on these. When I paint it tomorrow, I'll be able to make this one a little darker. So I don't want it to kind of look like a mess. So I'm gonna add a little bit more here. So I can't believe it's Thursday. Some of these days are definitely blending in, and we have been in our shelter in place now for 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks tomorrow or this weekend. I'm starting to have a lot of faith in our governor because he was the first one to shut anything down, and it may be working because we seem to, knock on wood, be having a low amount of corona cases. I hope that that's the same for you guys, really, I do. All right, so I'm just doing come back in here. I really don't want to go to that third flower right now because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So I'm procrastinating and going back to this one. When I work too, I do jump around a lot. Sometimes you'd think that I would do all the line work all together, but I don't. I don't know why that is. Just is. And you'll see tomorrow when we add the paint, you can really do a lot of fun colors, even if you use just, you know, I'm just gonna be using a few pinks, but you can do a lot of light and darks, and then that will really make these flowers pop and stand out. Orchids are definitely one of my favorite flowers. I have so many, but they're up there. Sweet peas are good. Love sweet peas. Okay, so I've got my 2 flowers, and now I'm going to do this third one. Now, I got to think about this. So I know I need to do it like right around here because it would be weird if it was up there or there. So I'm going to find my middle. I'm looking at this orchid now, and I'm going to put in this middle little thing. I forgot what it was called. And this is where all the spots are. This one, I think, will have the most detail. There's some beautiful yellow in here. So I'm going to work on those spots. Now, if you guys have any good card games, make sure you send them my way. For some reason, one of my boys is completely not into playing hearts. So, Mom, you won't play that Black Mariah game. I don't know what his problem is, but I cannot convince that child of anything. So we've been playing Kent, and we've been playing spoons. And the really funny thing about Kent is you need an even number of players to play. So the kids all of a sudden really want to hang out with me, and I realized yesterday it's because I'm their 4th person. It's hysterical. So every time my husband gets home, I get kicked out. And they're like, it's okay, Mom. You go do your thing. And then we played spoons last night, and I kicked everybody's butt, so that was awesome. All right, so I've got my 2 leaves or petals going on here. I probably have to stop chatting so I can concentrate on my other petals. Make sure I do this right. All right, so now I'm gonna take a look at it and see, okay, I've got this little space here for the 4th. And then these last 2 petals are kind of into each other. I probably shouldn't have made that stem go too long, so I'm gonna have to work with that. I'm gonna have to pretend it's not there for a minute. I love how these petals like have a little curl to them. All right, and then, how am I gonna do this one? All right, it looks like the 1 petal is going in here. I'm gonna ignore that stem. And then there's this other petal that looks like it's going behind it. It's kind of a little wonky. Maybe I can, you know what? I am gonna make these lines work for me. It's a little weird, but it's okay. Tomorrow, when I put the paint on, we won't even notice that. The other thing about doing the lines is, like I just did right there, you can just add another line around the outside of it if you need your petal to get a little bit bigger. Okay, so I have my 3 shapes. They fit nicely, and now I'm going to do a little bit of shading and then we'll be done. But I'm just gonna go in and do some, it's not really I can't remember what this is called. Anyway, they're little tiny lines, and if you go crosshatch, but they're not really, I guess I'm crosshatching a little bit. I'm crosshatching. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys are still with me. I have no idea. But I'm almost almost finished, and I'll be able to flip us around so we can chat some more. So I'm just doing some little tiny details in the inside. So you want to get all these details in there before you paint. For me, I like to get them done and then do the paint over it. But you can also use these pens on top of watercolors. These pens, and I don't know if my friend Donna is watching, but these pens are waterproof, so you can paint over them. So I'm gonna do one other little thing that I like to do is right where the main part of the orchid is. I'm gonna call this the body. I'll do a few little short lines down here, and then that gives it a little bit of shadow. So just a couple, it kind of sets them apart. So when I did these for that challenge, you know, I did one a day. If you weren't with me yesterday, I did 365 of these flowers. So it became kind of like I could do anything, talk, and, you know, just sort of think about stuff. It was really meditative because I didn't have to concentrate anymore because I practiced. So practice. That's what I tell my boys too. All right, so there's my pen drawing. There's my pen. And I'm gonna flip us around. So just so you know, this is that one. So you can paint right on there. And so bear with me, don't go anywhere. God, wouldn't it be funny if you guys all came back and everybody was gone? All right, let's see what, oh shoot, hold on. This happened in my testing. This happened with my testing earlier. I might have to just hold it. All right, hey Sandra. I can't get this to stay. Don't move anybody. We're all good. Just technical. You get to see all my studio too. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will also be putting these on my YouTube channel so you can see them. And then tomorrow, okay, Terry, you're still there. My kids are like, how long is your Facebook gonna be so you can come in and play with us and make me food? And I'm like, I don't know, I gotta do a drawing today. It could be a long time. So again, this is a final, or one that I did. This is a orchid, and it's got the pen work in here. And then this is what we just did today. And so tomorrow I'm gonna take the same one and show you how I do my watercolors on top. So again, my favorite pen is the Faber-Castell. You can get these anywhere at any good art store. But if you're in a pinch, you know, these microns are also pretty awesome, and they're same. They're kind of the same thing. I just, you know, favor one. I actually do my journaling in the morning with this one, and I do my drawings with this one. So I hope you guys are doing great, and if you get a chance, look at that Bill Gates article that I sent. You could probably Google it and find it. He's amazing. I think I'm going to start using his quotes and put them everywhere, because there's some incredible things going on right now, and there's a lot of people who are giving tons of inspiration, and I hope you guys are all hanging in there, and big hugs, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Okay, have a good night or day or morning. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.